We are into the losers round. Round one. That means one racer. Going home today, we got Sitake, we got ChefGobes. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Spoiler tourney time. Saturday morning. Earthbound Super Series. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Should be kicking this thing off in a moment here. 30 seconds. I got the spoiler up. The boss list looks nasty. I know it's spoilers, but I'm not gonna spoil anything yet. I'm gonna let this thing play out. But I will tell you that this boss list is gross. And with this flag set, I guess I should go into the flag set. This round we're doing no item shops, no gift boxes. Good luck, chat. No item shops, no gift boxes. All the items are going to be dropping from enemies. Some people love this flag set. Some people hate it. I hate it. It's a contentious flag, but, you know, we do it. We do the thing. Looks like... Oh, Gope's going for nakedness here. That's an interesting choice. Mother 2 style. Maybe that was random. I don't know. So anyone who doesn't know what's going on in Ancient Cave here, I'm going to give a quick rundown. We got 9 floors. Basically a giant maze. The randomizer has shuffled all the rooms, all the entrances into a logical path. Basically a giant maze. You can think of it as floors as we do. Each floor has a sanctuary boss at the end, indicating that you're at the end of one floor and the beginning of another, with the 9th floor having Gygus at the end. So you'll notice nobody's picking up gift boxes. I've already missed half the items we got. It's gonna go by quick. So I'll be relying on chat for things I missed. But it is the same list. You know, it's basically the item list, I should say, that you're getting from enemies. The game, you know, puts everything into a list and then just kind of dumps it as you fight enemies. There are conditions. I think reds might be gone. I always forget the exact conditions here, but there are conditions where it'll skip the item. I think green auto wins for sure. And I believe, yeah, you get punished for reds pretty hard. Red is, I think it's just gone, which can be tough. You know, if that item slot was a pendant or a badge, reds and greens, okay. I think regular greens are okay. It's just the auto win greens, from what I remember. Okay, so Sitake taking a peek at the spoiler here. You know, sometimes you'll see runners pop open that menu and stand still for a second. That means they're looking at the spoiler. Those are zombie teammates. Yep, the Ancient Cave has pretty extensive custom sprite sheet, which is one of the nice parts about it. And yeah, there's a lot you can choose. There's custom ones, there's regular EB ones. There's a lot there. Yeah, we've got custom spriters who have done a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, you can just have zombies in your party or whatever you want. Some runners have like themes. Like pick a theme for any particular race. You can do that. Some people have fun with it, which is cool. Oh, we've got Tucson on floor 1. Excellent. Always fun. Although with the spoiler, this ain't so bad. If anyone wants to check out the spoiler, it's map.earthbound.app. You won't have this spoiler itself, but you can kind of take a look at what it looks like, what the features are, and all that stuff. Yeah, the Golden Girls are good. There's like Pokemon themes, Mega Man themes. The Golden Girls are good for sure. But yeah, in the spoiler, it will show you some of the features it has. Obviously, with this flag set, it doesn't matter, but it will show you gift box contents. Doesn't matter for this, but it is a thing it does. It'll show you the boss list, the shortest path doors, which is really good for something like Tucson. If you were doing a non-spoiler, which is what most people would be doing, maybe if you're just running Ancient Cave, you'd have to check all these doors, and there's I think 22 doors in Tucson, and it's just terrible to check all those doors. But with the spoiler, it'll just tell you like, oh, this door is the fastest path. So that's pretty convenient, especially for we call them hubs. You can't get through there, Gobes. Hubs would just be places with lots of doors. Tucson, On It 3, the big towns, Foreside, Dusty Dunes here to a lesser extent. Just places with a bunch of doors, and there are loops in this, so hubs tend to loop. And that's kind of a strategy when you're doing non-spoiler, is like, if you hit a huge hub like Tucson, like maybe just, if you can, backtrack, and you'll probably loop back in if it comes to it. Explore other options, but sometimes Tucson is the way. But anyway, we're seeing Sitake here doing some grinding. With this flag set, I think it's good to establish something early where you can just fight a bunch, because you're going to get good stuff early. Like, so we've got silver bracelets, nothing too crazy yet. I mean, you can literally get a Gutsy Bat first drop. Like, the list is just randomized. I mean, it's weighted. It's not just all good stuff. Sometimes it can be, but I think it's not gonna always be just good stuff. You're gonna get bad stuff most of the time too. So yeah, establishing a good point here early to maybe find some good items. Super Plush Bear is okay, but yeah, you're really looking for like score some endgame items here early, so you can cruise the seed. Oh, nice. Gobes got a skip here. And since, okay, so I guess I could go into skips here a little bit. This is a good place for it. Yeah, the custom tunes would be nice. I can't hear them, so you guys gotta tell me if we're getting any good ones, but anyway, yeah, skips. So you can use, anytime you move an NPC, you're skipping, and that seems kind of ambiguous, and it is, but there are certain NPCs that are literally just blocking the way. Monkeys, as we saw with Gobes, that in the theater there, Mr. Spoon and Foreside, etc., etc. Anytime you give them their thing, they'll move and you skip to a different floor. Now, you'll never skip to an adjacent floor. So say you're on floor 3 and you're skipping. You're not going to go to 2 and you're not going to go to 4. It's either 5 or 1 or 5 and further. You can only skip a maximum of 5 floors. So what's interesting here is with Gobes skipping on 1 is that it's guaranteed forward, because you can't skip backwards from 1 initially, plus you can't skip to adjacent floors. So it's guaranteed forward. And so that way, I mean, we noticed maybe he has the backstage pass. I don't think so. But the backstage pass from that direction behind the vendor is one way if you don't have the backstage pass. So it can be risky, except if you're on floor 1, or if you know if it's forward in a spoiler situation. So yeah, that's kind of skipping in a nutshell. Like I said, you can only skip a maximum of 5 floors. It's not like you can just go straight to the end. Okay, Sitake is satisfied, going for the boss. I'm not sure where Gobes is yet. We he has skips. It's you can tell by the clusters. Again, I kind of missed some more spoiler features, but it'll show you clusters, which are just kind of like collections of doors. They're kind of less than hubs, as I described earlier. It'll show you more than just hubs. It'll show you like little two-door clusters, and the clusters will tell you what floor they're on. But I haven't seen. Oh, Chef's on 3. Good call, Derek. Yeah, I hadn't looked yet. Sitake got the counter PSI unit. Nice. Love it. You don't see that one used too often. Okay, yeah, this door, actually the room, yeah, and Happy Happy are pretty good indicators. Yeah, I hadn't quite noticed that Chef was in that Starman base room. Oh, yeah, the sound it makes. Yeah, that happens, Derek. And there's so much to look at in the spoiler that it's easy to just kind of like skip over things and like miss it. It happens to me all the time. I've been talking about making just like a little map key for myself and just share it with people and just kind of label things, but I'm lazy and haven't done it yet. Yeah, sometimes the music is it can be a bit much. I think in more recent years, people have gotten better at regulating those things. It's really just been Ori over the last however many years, and he's good at keeping things not too loud or messy or anything. I've never seen the Pokemon map tracker. That seems cool though. I bet something like that is doable. It just takes someone doing it. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if that's something you could do with like Emo Tracker or something. I'm not too in tune to how those things work. Oh, you can still. Oh, so you can kind of balance out even the ones that are loud. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, a lot of the custom songs are from like old, hacks, like PK hack, custom songs and stuff. I mean, that community, Starman.net, they've been doing stuff forever. So, oh yeah, and again, yeah, Prey gets randomized. All the Prey, Mirror, Spy gets randomized on non-Nest characters. So yeah, keeping track of who has Prey is important. Oh, there you go. Nice. The hint guy, yes, it's been changed. Good question. The hint guy is there. He works, but he does not work in the vanilla fashion. He will tell you what floor you're on and the boss list for each floor. So he'll be like, you're on floor N, and here's the bosses for floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's pretty much it. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 9. We know the 9 is always. So yeah, hint guy will still function. This is a smart move by Sitake. If you know you're gonna green something and you don't want that auto kill, you can kind of turn at the last second. And the way EB handles swirls is weird, to say the least. But there are lots of ways you can cheese swirling. Force yourself greens, but if you don't want an auto kill with a green, we saw Sitake do it there, where he took the fight, and you have a little bit of I don't know the exact window, but there's a frame window where you can still input and turn. It's been a thing in Earthbound forever, even amongst casual players. And if it's a green and you turn and make it a red, the game is just like, oh, this is blue, and you're fine. Yep, every floor has got a full heal. That's another important point. We're not completely SOL. when it comes to full heals. That'll be usually the sanctuaries, not the sank spot itself, but the actual sanctuary. It'll full heal the party, and that's it. There's I probably should have stated this earlier. None of the flags matter, or none of like the standard game triggers or flags really matter here. So getting sanctuary spots or the sanctuary itself doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just functionally a full heal, which is nice. There's also talk to face. Magicant has a full heal at mom. There's some others, I think. The outside dungeon man here. I would see Sitake do that trick again. When you leave pyramid, I should say. That's a full heal. Yeah, pretty good moves here from Sitake, turning those green auto kills into blues. It's not easy and it doesn't always work, but when it does, it's nice. It's a pretty big window to hit that turn. Like, you hit the enemy fight, and like it's a pretty large window to still hit the D-pad and turn. I feel like that was like coded in, or it was a bug initially, and then Iwata was just like, "This is fine. Keep this. That seems cool." It's a feature. DG Secretive Mallard. As we can see, the enemies also randomized names. Ooh, a Magicant bat. I believe Chaz stated a lot of those prefixes and stuff for the randomized names are pulled from the Shuffler, I think. The original rando. Wow. Or the original EB rando. Sitake beelined it for that skip. Knew exactly where he was going. Got an MBR. That's pretty sweet. Didn't see that one drop in the pool. So it looks like Sitake's got this routed out, I would guess. Looks like Sitake is on 7. Derek staying right on top of those floor updates. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's see. I guess I'll spoil what the floor 7 boss is in this spoiler tourney. Where is it? It's Starman DX. And these runners know what they're up against. They have the spoiler. They've seen the boss list, so I imagine they know what they're up against, and they're probably going to stock up as best they can. Sitake is probably going to hold, or both players are probably going to hold on to their MBRs for a minute. Gobes in a tough spot. Enhanced Drone D. At least it's not Enhanced Drone H. Oh, we got the Jam Sylv Flintstone remix. Nice. That's a good one. Jam Sylv has great stuff. I got nothing bad to say about anything Jam Sylv has done, and he's still active too. I don't know if he's contributed to this lately, but I know he's done some stuff recently. Yeah, Jam Sylv's a legend in the EB hacking community. Not sure if that's scripted. I can only assume the scripted enemy had an item, but I don't know for sure. Sitake taking a look at the spoiler. This is a skip, and it can be to 9. It's just dependent on whether he has an eraser, and that's dependent on if it dropped from the pool, which is one of the reasons I hate this flag set. Everything is super dependent on the item drop pool. And you just end up kind of screwed a lot of the time, unless you just got lucky. I can't tell if Sitake wants a full despawn here. So Jeepicus, yeah, it looks like he's going for the full despawn. What was? Oh, those sprouts went for the bear on Gobe's screen. That's so weird. I've maybe seen that before, but yeah, fires are a good fight to take. Oh, never mind. I figured 4-7 they would be actual fires, but I guess that is kind of silly. It's too early for that. They'd be on 8 or 9. Ooh, sign banana, okay. Getting key items in the pool is very helpful. But again, that skip could be back who knows where. Like, sure, we could spoiler it out, but who wants to make an on-the-fly route to skip too far back? I mean, if it's reasonable, yeah, you can reroute something, but I think that's really one of the only silver linings to this flag set for me, anyway, is that, like, in a spoiler setting, you can just it's very easy to just run and gun with this flag set. You can just kind of like just route to the end, you know. That's really it. When the items are in gift boxes, you tend to route around the gift boxes because you want the Franklin badges, the rabbit's feet, the pendant. So you're kind of like, okay, I want to go get these. But with this, it's just like, get me to the end, and we'll go from there. I'll fight a bunch of crap, which is another part I don't like about it, is that it tends to turn into a grind fest. Which, as a speedrunner, just pains me. And sometimes you're just forced into it. You know, you route it out, get to the end, and it's just like, alright, I gotta fight a bunch of stuff. You know, you try to fight stuff early, but it can only last so long. Where you're graining everything and trying to get those blue cheesers. Let's see if this guy has something. Yeah, he does. Okay, so scripted enemies do have items. Rock candy's kind of whatever. This item pool is not great. So far anyway. Maybe that means it'll be better later, hopefully, but I don't see anything too crazy in these inventories. I mean, MBR is nice, don't get me wrong. Showtime. It's the only input break in the entire cave. You go from like running Earthbound that is like mostly input breaks, at least like past early game. And you go to Ancient Cave and it's like, this is it. So yeah, I'm not sure. Gobes has got to be looking at the spoiler. I'm wondering, he must be trying to just route out 3 because he's been here for a minute. I don't remember what room he was last in. It's hard to try to figure it out. Looks like he's trying to get himself the hell off of floor 3. And this is where, I mean, especially as we get further into the tourney, knowledge of the map and really knowing your way around the spoiler is going to be a huge help. Nice. There's one of our full heals. Because yeah, having the spoiler is nice, but if you don't know how to like really read it and like pinpoint things like we were talking about earlier and not kind of glaze over stuff, like if you just know where stuff is and like know how to use the shortest path doors, indicators really well, it's gonna really make or break your run. And we did do a spoiler tourney last year. I can't remember if Sitake was in. I want to say he was. There's Starman DX. Oh, Sitake never moved the MBR over, so it looks like. Ooh, yeah, that's a reset. Yeah, it seemed like he wanted that MBR on, obviously for Jeff, but for that fight, rerun bad. Yep, yep. Chef looks like Chef routed his way to the boss. I imagine that's what he was doing in that fight, was just figuring out the way. So yeah, it looks like Sitake, I can see if he moved it over. I imagine he did. But he wants it for this fight and not the Floor 8 fight. The Floor 8's Diamond Dog. So it's a tough call. Like, wow, 680. Ouch. Yeah, that's pain. Oh no. Yeah, that's a reset. I was about to say, like, I wonder if Sitake just resets here. Yeah, it looks like so all the bosses and Gygus roll random stats. They're not vanilla. So their speed is randomized. Their resists are randomized. HP values, all that good stuff. So it looks like I would wager Starman DX rolled pretty high speed. Could also be a combination of Jeff's speed just being low and, Gygus is just being relatively higher than Jeff, so it was just a terrible MBR. Or maybe it was just bad RNG. We don't know. Oh, we got Star Party. Nice. So I imagine we picked that up in the pool. I feel like we see that one a lot. Snake Bag. Hell yeah. Gygus strats. I noticed Sitake had a snake already and was holding onto it, so... Yeah, Snake Bag drop is hype. Honestly, that's like, in this flag set, it's probably one of the more OP items. And I didn't even realize it until recently. I mean, I knew it was good, I just didn't realize you could just straight up buy it still. But getting it as a drop is great. Nope, nope, no, that's your nickname. Yep, and so freeze resistance, like, naturally isn't a thing in Earthbound, but in the earlier days of this rando, everything was just weak to freeze, like in vanilla. Like I said, there's no natural. So it was pretty OP. Like, you could just kind of freeze was just your default for everything. It's like, oh, this boss sucks, I'll just freeze bait it. And then Chaz didn't like that, so he put in a freeze resist stat on enemies. So yeah, you can just get enemies that no matter what the freeze is, it'll only do like 10 or something, which is terrible. But keeps it interesting. All right, Gobes on a 4. Typically, this is where you're like, yeah, it's good gear time, but we're getting it all from the drops. Star Pennon is free. Did we get one? I didn't notice. Having Starstorm is really good as well. That's just like good damage. There's a C pendant. Okay, it looks like we're getting to the good pendant part of the pool if Star did indeed drop. C. No, there's not seeing a star, but C is really helpful. It looks like I would assume Sitake is grinding for Shield Sigma here. And like usually you're trying to do this on floor 9, like way later in preparation for Gygus, because you really need it there. But because we rolled Starman DX on 7, and he usually opens with Star Party, I mean, this is almost a requisite. You kind of have to have Shield Sigma. And you'd assume with all the fighting you do earlier, maybe you're there already, but sometimes Shield Sigma just comes later. Again, a lot is randomized in this, and PSI learn levels are just randomized by default, and you can't really toggle that in this. So Paula could learn Shield Sigma. I've seen it as late as like mid-30s. It's brutal, especially in a situation like this. Who having Starstorm is very helpful for these Fobby fights, especially since you can almost guarantee that that's what Sitake is going for here, is just pure levels. And these blobbies are perfect for that. Was it king banana? All I saw was banana. Maybe it was just a banana, I don't know. Does Chef have a skip sandwich? Looks like he's checking. Nope, no skipper. There you go. That's the flag set for you. Didn't get a skip sandwich drop? Tough. Potassium. Either way. Gotta have those potassios. Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, I know Sasaki has a full heal somewhere. I don't know how close it was, but it looks like it's decently close, which will be helpful for, you know, hitting all these levels, and Pooh having such low psychic points currently. And he's the guy. He's the guy with Star Party, you know? Oh, that's nice. The full heal is like right next to a phone. That's always very helpful. Exit mice also work a little differently in this. They work more like the breadcrumbs in Mother 1, where the mouse would be like, hey, I'll mark this spot for you, and later you can come back to it by using come back to this spot with the mouse. So it's not quite the way they work in vanilla, but so you can kind of work yourself around. I haven't seen many people use that yet, or either of these racers use it this run. We'll probably see it later as we get closer to Gygus. It's a nice kind of Gygus hop on floor 9. Yeah, I don't know if that was random or what. I assume, yeah, I can only imagine he picked this since it's zombie themed. Nakedness and 3 zombies. Just like the survival party. This is like the Walking Dead party or something. Oh, we did get Shield Sigma. Nice. What's this MBR roll? Oh, so we just got terrible luck the first roll. Nice. It literally rolled 680 the first time, and that one was 1,000 more. So it was just bad RNG the first time. But I don't think that level grind was in vain for Sitake. I mean, obviously we have the benefit of knowing where his opponent is, and maybe he's looking to it is spoiler tourney, so you know, we don't have it implicitly said that it's okay to watch the stream, but I don't think it's. I don't know if Sitake knows where his opponent is my point. But yeah, I think that level grind was not in vain. Like, we've got Shield Sigma. That's super helpful, especially since we're going up against Diamond Dog. Actually, I don't think it's particularly helpful for that fight now that I think about it. But, you know, we're stronger. Yeah. Yeah, it seems fine, honestly. Like, again, I'm not a TO on this one, but it seems like, you know, it's a spoiler tournament. The idea of not watching a rando race of your own is to avoid spoilers. This is a spoiler tournament, so that's kind of the fun of it, I guess, is that it kind of allows you to do those things that you normally are just like, no, 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 you can't do this, can't do that, you know, you can't be looking at the spoiler during the run. And even in tournament seeds aren't spoilers anyway, it just doesn't generate them, so it's not even an issue. But it is fun to do these kinds of things where it's okay to, like, you know, look at a spoiler and figure things out, and you know, see where your opponent is in a race and whatnot. Like, you know, boogie percent, it's fine. Like, there's no spoilers there, and people watch. It's fine. But yeah, I think that's what was we initially did this last year, and I think that's just as a runner, it was really fun to just be like, oh, okay, like I can be in a tournament and look at a spoiler and know where things are, what the boss list is right away, and that kind of stuff. So I do enjoy the spoiler format. I think it's pretty cool, and the fact that Ancient Cave has, I mean, it's a pretty robust spoiler map. It's, you know, obviously we could make it auto track and stuff, but I think just as it is, it's pretty sweet as a visual spoiler. So it's fun to use it. It's a fun little tool. But yeah, typically in tournaments, Chaz has made it so when you roll a tournament seed for, you know, these competitive races, no spoiler file is even available to the user, which is nice. Chaz has done a lot of work for this. Shout outs to Chaz, the lead dev on this Ancient Cave. Has put a ton of work into this. Great dude. Has been a part of the Earthbound community forever. Not even just the speedrun community, but just the Earthbound community. Yeah, great guy. Put a ton of work into this. It's fun to calm with. I wish Chaz seems like he's pretty, and I'm not going to delve into people's personal lives, but seems like he's pretty successful and, you know, kind of takes time away from this. But I do miss doing comms with Chaz. It's pretty fun. Used to do them a lot more earlier on. He's just got a lot of, like, Earthbound knowledge in general. And the original, was it like Bissinin? Wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Ori. It was one of the RPG rando guys. I think he did the FF6 rando. It was Abyss, okay. Yeah, he came to us. Okay, cool. Yeah, Bissinin came to the EB speedrun community, I don't know when it was. What, 2017, 2018 when this first came out, and he was like, hey, I can make you guys a new rando. Like, we had the reshuffler, but it was kind of bad. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, the main RPG rando guy. You know, we had the reshuffler by Tomato, and it was fun, but it was pretty buggy, to say the least. It has its issues. It's still there. You can run it if you want. He was like, hey, you know, I can make you guys a new rando. It would be Ancient Cave style, and I can do it. You know, and if you want me to, if you guys want to pay me for it, we're like, yeah, we'll crowdfund that. Like, I don't think it was that much money. It was, I mean, it was a decent chunk, but we could have crowdsourced it pretty easily. And then Ori was just like, slammed the money down on the table virtually and was just like, boom, done. It was so sick. So we really have mainly Ori and Abyssinin and Chaz to thank for this. And then, yeah, so Abyssinin handed it off to us. He was just like, all right, here it is. Thanks. See you guys later. Here's the code, like, you paid for it. It's all yours. Chat. It was, you know, we had been running it, and it was not buggy. It worked, but it was rough and different from the way it is now. You could take bus rides. Skips worked a lot differently. There were like free skips, basically, like a cultist house. Like if you moved one of the blue guys, that was a skip. It was kind of like counterintuitive, kind of confusing to new runners, aka me. Yeah, exactly. It usually did, yeah. Which compared to the reshuffler, that's awesome. Like just crash and soft lock all the time. Yeah, exactly. It was a big step. Um, Here we go, doggo time. And yeah, so we were running it, me or the early rando runners, Raikou. I think Chaz saw that we were struggling. I don't know how Chaz came about it, but he came to us and was just like, "Hey, I can like polish this up for you guys if you want. If you want, just like give me the code." And we were like, "Yes, please." And yeah, and Chaz just, you got to credit Abyssanim for the initial code, but man, Chaz really took it like and made it this polished, like streamlined, and he added just so much to it. So it's like you really got to credit Chaz for what it is now. Which I mean, I don't know if it's perfect, but I think it's as close to perfect as you can get. Like this is, I love Ancient Cave. Not to no shade to Scramble. I love Scramble too. Scramble's its own thing. They're two very different things, obviously. Um, and I love both. I love this. This is great. I've always been a big fan of the Ancient Cave, and I know it can be kind of it's intimidating. You see it from the outside, and you're like, "What is going on?" Like, I just don't get it. But it's just one of those things you just got to dive into and mess up a bunch. It's like it's pretty much a roguelite. I think I've heard Slug compared to a roguelite before, and it kind of is. Yeah, you just got to kind of take those licks your first few runs and like figure it out. Look at the spoiler if your first couple runs if you need to, like figure it out, and then eventually it just clicks. I feel like the human brain with this, it just kind of like makes sense. I mean, pretty much anyone's brain who does this enough, eventually you'll just be like, oh, okay, like this makes sense. Like it takes a couple runs, but or just watching it a bunch. See, this is where Chef is now. This is one of those full heals, and this is also a respawn point. There's not many in this, so you actually don't need to save. If you die, you'll respawn at that point. And that's a skip too. I don't know if Chef knows this. Let's see. Does that? Where is? I think it's backwards. I'm gonna find Dungeon Man. It's always incredibly difficult. There he is. Yeah. Dungeon Man's 2, so you can skip there. It's one way. You can get the key to Dungeon Man in the desert where Chef was, and then go skip at Dungeon Man, and it's one way. It just brings you right into Dungeon Man. You can't go back. But it's backwards, so I should have known that. We saw Dungeon Man on floor 2. Scatterbrain. Looks like Sitake is making pretty good progress on this doggy. I don't want to curse him. Is it snake time? It might be snake time. He's kind of running out of options. Looks like we got the shield down. Bottle of water. Poo. Oh, he's got a physical shield. That's right. I wonder... Magnet hears anything. Nice. Yeah, I was about to say, like, Sitake is really plugging the damage in here. He's gotta be close. Good stuff there. That's easily the hardest boss in Ancient Cave. Like, by far. Diamond Dog is, like, the worst thing you can see. And especially this flag set where you can't just go buy BBRs or MBRs or Super Bombs. Just have an inventory full for that fight. And even then, it's hard. But I feel like in this flag set, Diamond Dog is, like, nigh impossible unless you just get a super dank item pool. So that's huge. Huge win for Sitake there, taking down Diamond Dog. Handled that fight like a champion. Large pizza, nice. I was kind of talking about other things during that fight, but kind of watching that fight out of the corner of my eye, and Sitake handled that fight like a pro. A lot of those fights you get into, you just gotta. It really takes like maybe not specific lines, but the lines are kind of can be obscure. And, like it can be tough. It can be tough to navigate those fights if you're inexperienced or even intermediate with this. It's like those Diamond Dog fights can just get so nasty. Same with Gygus. I mean, okay, Gobes on a 5 here. Let's go. I believe Sitake skipped from Dungeon Man into 7. So now that okay, this is a skip. Let's see. Where is? No, that's $30. Oh, he's looking at spoiler just like I am. I was like, what? Why go stop? Like, oh, he's looking at spoiler just like me. Where? Yeah, this is a tough one to find. Okay, this is. Oh, this is backwards. Yeah, this goes to floor 1. But actually, I mean, we have the benefit of knowing where Sitake has been, but the skip back to Dungeon Man is actually worth it for Chef here. Because Upper Dungeon Man has that skip into 7 that Sitake took. And I guess Chef just hasn't seen that line. You don't it's hard to catch every skip in line, and if you can hit it, you'll just miss stuff. It happens. It looks like Chef's taking a real good look at the. Oh, there's Gygus taking a real hard look at the spoiler. I imagine Sitake is ready. Yeah, I mean, we got a C pendant, we got a Franklin badge. Having another pendant would be nice. Yeah, here's the exit mouse, so we'll mark the door. Looks like we're gonna just go for it. Oh, never mind. Yeah, these spawn tiles will get you. They're not normally enemies there, but there are spawn tiles, and Chaz has opted into using them. There we go. So yeah, you can catch people here off guard. I think that's the point. People aren't usually ready for it. There are spawn tiles in here. The game just doesn't use them normally. Alright, Gygus time. A high pendant and a badge. Super helpful. That's really all you need. It's just getting through the first 2 phases that's going to be tough. Pokey, as I mentioned earlier, will have rolled random resistances. So vanilla, you just paralyze him and you're good. But here he might be completely immune to paralyze. He might be 10% immune, 50, 99. We don't know. Hypnosis and brain shock could also be a thing. He could have a freeze resist. What's that crit? What just happened? We got a spy. 50% paralysis is good. Looks like Sitake is just going for the vibe check. I will say, having watched Sitake run a bunch of these, he is very smart and very, I guess, cerebral with the way he approaches this. And I envy it. I wish I could run like this. He's very, like, he plans things out very well. And he knows what he's going to do. And it looked like he had a plan there where it's just like, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to spy, I'm going to figure out what works, and then I'm going to go back to my save and just heal. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but even in non-spoiler settings, I've seen Sitake be very good about remembering where pivotal points are, say like a vendor with super bombs and big bottle rockets, etc. It's a bandsaw remix. Nice. And yeah, he's very good at like getting back to those spots and figuring that stuff out. Which I'm not. I'm terrible at those things, so I kind of envy it as a runner seeing those things. I wish I could, remember those things. It's tough. Well, we got Nightmare here on 5 too. Yeah, this boss list is pure evil. About as bad as it gets. I think we even had Starman Jr. on one. We didn't see it. Maybe we saw it from Chef. I don't remember. It looks like Sitake doesn't. Not sure where his full heal is. Looks like he's trying to figure out. Where that full heal is. Yeah, Nightmare Fight is terrible. Nice. Yeah, having Star Party is huge. Just in general. Fresh egg. I feel like almost every one of these, maybe I'm wrong and it's just vibes, but almost every one of these I've done has usually get the Star Storm item. So yeah, I guess I should explain in Ancient Caves, since, as I mentioned earlier, all the story flags are turned off. They don't really matter. Who doesn't ever learn Starstorm? I think this is one of those things we talked about, like the early iterations were kind of rough. It was just like you never got Starstorm. It's like, well, this kind of sucks. So I don't think it was in it from the beginning. I believe Chaz put in, it's just an item, it's like a consumable that just teaches you Starstorm. And if you get 2 of them, you learn Omega. Oh no, that's what it was. You could only learn Starstorm if you fought Master Belch. That was the only way to get it. And that's still a thing. If you fight Master Belch as a boss, you'll get Starstorm. But it's just not conditional on just that. You can also get the item Auto Star Master. That's the item. So that's nice that got added in. Have Starstorm. There we go. Okay, so it's stabilized. And that's, there we go, the exit mouse in action. Mark it on the door, go back, save. You just always have access to that door. There's a lot of creative ways people have come up with to use the exit mice. I've seen some pretty cool stuff over the years. I'm not going to go into every way, but there are some creative ways you can jump around with those exit mice. I wonder what track it is. I'm sure I've heard it, I just can't figure it out from the bandsaw old printer descriptions. It's not a fight. You'll get scared sometimes. There'll be like Starmen as NPCs, and you're like, ugh. Please no hurt. But they're just friendly NPCs. Snake bag. Oh, vitality capsule. An unused vitality capsule. Interesting. Who does have prey? Confirmed. Looks like paralysis hasn't stuck yet. 50-50. There it is. Yeah, so phase 1 and 2 here are gonna be tricky. Do have a bazooka, so that's nice. It's not a heavy bazooka, but okay. And Pokey isn't freeze resistant, so that's huge. If we're sitting here with a freeze resistant Pokey, and let's say he's like 10% paralysis resistant, and you don't have a heavy bazooka, and maybe just a bazooka, like this is a grind. And phase 2 can be as well. But I imagine we'll see Sitake get through it. Hala has enormous psychic points. Holy crap, I just noticed. Another bad scenario here is, ooh, Sitake just tossing out the star parties. I respect it. Oh, you gotta throw the chicken at Gygus. Uh-oh. Well, there we go. But yeah, sometimes if Paula just rolls really low psychic points, which happens a decent amount, she just happens to have a shit ton here. Um, if she has low psychic points, it's terrible because you're having to magnet with her constantly just to keep up with shield sigmas. But with her having this amount of psychic points, it's great. But Pooh's gonna be magneting a little more. Maybe, probably stocking psychic points for phase 2, I assume. So we can start party phase 2. Yeah, Sasaka's got some pretty decent damage going here. I don't think this is gonna take especially long. We've got a pretty safe setup here. Pokey's neutralized. Numb, I should say. Yeah, here it is, phase 2. Paula's got plenty of psychic points to keep shields up. Pokey's not freeze resistant, so we've got damage. And the bazooka's doing something. So, we're not in the worst shape here. There's definitely been worse Gygas fights with this flag set. Even phase 2 here, I think Sitake is in good shape. I think generally, that's pretty good. You wanna, I think as a general rule of thumb, people like to freeze beta instead of gamma, just because like it's pretty similar damage. Like if you do the cost per damage ratio, like I think beta is a little more efficient. So usually you'll see people beta, especially if you're low on psychic points. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, it's very very 90s retro, the neon. It's just like perfect for Earthbound. Yeah, the palette was a quick phase too. I want to say Gygas had low HP, but Satake was also doing a bunch of damage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love a lot of the palette swaps. It's one of my favorite parts. Scramble's got it too, and I love that kind of stuff. It's just so perfect for Earthbound. And that's kind of the initial reaction, at least not the palette swaps, but you see some people who know about Earthbound but don't know about the randos, and they see someone playing a rando and they're like, what, Earthbound isn't like random enough for you? They're like, no. We must make it weirder. As Earthbound fans, it is our duty to take a strange game and make it more strange. This should be a quick phase 3 here for Sitake. He's got the pendant, got the Franklin badge. Even without a badge, Pooh's got huge HP. So lightnings would be an issue, but not as much. So this is pretty much a free ride here, all the way through phase 3. Gobes grinding out floor 6. He never hit those heavy skips. I didn't take a too heavy look at the skips myself to see if there was like that 2 to 7 that Sitake took was probably the best you could do with the seat, I would assume. I didn't see too many on 9. Yeah, for sure. With this game being as old as it is, the people who are unfamiliar with it, that list just gets longer and longer. The people who are familiar with it just stays the same. At least from the old days. I love when new people find it though. Like, we've got some like younger runners, and I think that's always so cool to me that like someone who was born however many years long, pretty far after this game came out, can still like see it and play it and appreciate it Nice. Yeah, grow them kids up. Grow them kids up on EB. That's a GG for Sitake. Sub hour. Good stuff. Yeah, that phase 3 was a cruise. Yep, raise them kids on EB. They'll turn out all right. I mean, we just had it, or at least me, we just had it as a kid. This was, I was a 10-year-old kid, and this was the hot. I mean, it wasn't hot, RPGs were hot at the time, JRPGs, but this was new, and I loved it. I immediately fell in love with this game as a kid. It was like no one really knew about it. I wasn't trying to be a hipster about it. I just wanted to play JRPGs as a kid, and like, I played Final Fantasy VI. I played Chrono Trigger. I played SMRPG, and it was like, oh, Earthbound. This is an RPG. Let me try this. And I was just like, this is my game. This was made for me. Like, I love this game. It was just so different from all the other ones that I played. Yeah, Sitake, that was huge. That doggo fight. I was so hyped for you. Yeah, it happens, Gobes, especially on these mid cave floors. I've mentioned it kind of in commentary before, where it's super easy to hit these like 4, 5, 6, and just get completely lost. Like it's very common, even with experienced runners. But yeah, GG's to the runners. Well done, Sitake, staying alive. 107, not bad. It wasn't the 136 we had yesterday. Yeah, I think Sitake took a skip from early on. It was what, Dungeon Man on 2 to 7. And I really think that was the only real big skip. I mean, like I said, I didn't dive deep into the skips, but from what I saw, that was it. And yeah, the bosses were just so nasty. That was one of the worst boss lists I've seen in a long time. Lardna was feeling particularly evil today. So yeah, GG's. That finishes it for the round. That was the last race of the round. We're kind of cruising through this one. It's a quick little tourney. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll be moving on to the next round. It's a quick one. We should be done with this one by the end of the month. Only 8 people. Cruising right through it, and then we'll be jumping right into Scramble Tourney in the new year, so keep your eyes out for that. Jay Tolmar has officially said it's on, so that is good. I'm trying to find a raid target. We might not have one because it's Saturday and no one streams on Saturday. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone. Nobody streams on Saturday. Let's see. Let's try. We might just end it here, but I'm gonna try one more thing. Speedruns. We have just like a marathon or something. Yeah, we might just cut it. I'm not really seeing much here. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We're just gonna end it. We have no raid target, unfortunately, but yeah, thanks for hanging out with me on a Saturday. Thanks, Derek, for the restream. Keep your eyes out for the next round. We're gonna get it going soon. Yeah, check out our Discord. Check out the channels, the YouTubes, and yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.